Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Sandra Williamson, and I wanted to make this quick video as a client with Dr. Nicole's 12-week G.L.O.W RX program. I'm currently a client, and I'm right now a little bit past my 12-week session, and I do not want it to end. But a little bit about me: my name is Sandra Williamson. I am married to my husband, Roger Williamson. I'm a mom of 6, and I'm a grandmother of 1. I enrolled in this program because I felt it was at the right time in my life. And I am so glad I made that decision. Dr. Nicole is definitely a gifted woman of God. A beautiful person, but someone that you can trust, you can talk to. As I begin to read the book, I begin to fall more in love with the G.L.O.W program. So I made the decision to be a client. I am a busy mom. I'm a busy woman, and oftentimes we neglect ourselves because we're in this cycle of working. Dr. Nicole is someone that I wish I knew her 20 years ago, but God does everything well. This program has allowed me to really get to know Sandra, really understand who I am as a woman, who I am as God's chosen, who I am as a mother, who I am as a wife. So I made the decision to intentionally get to know Sandra, but I couldn't do that by myself. I needed help. I had to invest in myself. I felt like I had it all put together. My businesses is making money, my family as well, but inside, I'm dying. Inside, I'm hurting. Inside, I need help. And this program has definitely allowed me to just come out of my shell. She's opened my eyes to really identifying key things that I was really suppressing. I'm a very prideful woman. I'm strong. I like to do it on my own. And if I can't do it, I'll figure it out. But there comes a place in our lives that our internal system, it talks to us. And if we don't listen, we're going to live a miserable life. So for those that are thinking about enrolling in this program, I highly encourage it. Invest in yourself. When things are going on in your life, you know that you can glow. We all want to grow. We all want to live a healthy lifestyle. But oftentimes we don't do it because we don't want to make the investment. So if you love you enough, if you feel that you're worth knowing you more, then glow with Dr. Nicole. As you can see, I'm glowing. I hope you can see it. But Dr. Nicole, thank you for pouring into me what God has given you. Thank you for allowing me to understand that I'm worth it. Thank you for allowing me to know that I'm healed, I'm healthy, and I'm whole. But most importantly, thank you. Thank you so much for making me see, making me through your love, through your patience, through your compassion. Thank you for making me see. I'm learning to love me. As these are real results. My life has changed with this program, and I'm so glad that Dr. Nicole was able to help me with this transition. So I love you, Dr. Nicole, and to your guest or anyone that's listening, invest in yourself. Take a chance. You have nothing to lose. Bye-bye.
Lately, I've been reading even more of health-related books, but yours, coming from a young sister, just really to me was like enlightening. I thought it was relatable, like when Pat talked about how you use the stories. And I just truly appreciate that you are in a place where you are, have gotten your education and all that, and then brought it to us real. And I think for me, that made me know that I will always use this as a resource.
Yes.
You left a lot. You gave us websites, information, and I just loved it. I just thought that, yes, this will be, and I will share it like Pat will do with her daughters. Very nice. So much.
Thank you so much. Yay.
Thank you.
I just want to go back to Cass. We finished Cass, and when we finished Cass, it was so heavy that you feel like, what do I do now? How do we, if we in the bottom, how do we get past this? This book will help you deal with that. You know, you can go
It
back
did.
now and look at yourself and say,
Yes.
I can do this now. I got God on my side. I know I can get
That's
through
right.
this. And so
That's right.
I really, Pat, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
this book and
Yes,
for
thank
recommending this
you.
book. And thank you for giving us this resource.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Yay.
I'm gonna let Nikki talk about all that she does, but I was looking online and I was looking at several things that you talked about in your Dr. Nick, you know, your minutes. I don't know if any of y'all have had an opportunity to read those yet.
I did.
Okay. And one of them, that temperature check, I thought, I'm going to try this because I thought that was it's a quick tip. It was something that I could try with my spouse, with my children, but definitely with my spouse. And I like that beautiness of how you talk about you and Kamal and how you all are able to have those temperature checks. And I thought, oh my God, I love that. Oh, Jesus, I love that. So
Yay.
that was
It's
one of
great.
the things. I enjoyed this book, Nikki. I want to thank you very much
Yay.
for coming and being on our Zoom with us.
Oh,
G.L.O.W.
thank you so much for having me. I love y'all.
I love you.
To say is I just love how God just moved you to do this, because to me it gave me a whole different way of interacting with him. I just felt like he's such a high power being that I had to humble myself to be in his presence. And then I realized that's not what he wanted. He wanted me to be an equal partner, to go in and talk to him as if I'm talking to my BFF. So I just said, God is my new BFF. So when I sit and talk and just say, listen, this is my problem, I don't have to dress it up. I can just tell him exactly what's there.
Good.
And he knows that. So
Yes.
I feel like I can approach him now in any way I wanted to, because that's what he wanted. And that, to me, that's the biggest part that I got out of it. I just thought, I listened to people pray and I was like, oh, I wish I could pray as well as they did. And then sometimes I listen to this girl pray and I say, you know what? She's praying, but she's not following what God says. So I can't do that. But I wanted to be able to have a relationship with him that we could just sit and have those chats. And I felt through this, that's what it was all about. It was about taking that walk with him and just being truthful and honest and just say whatever is on your heart and go with it. And I appreciate that. That was a big aha for me.
This book has opened my heart to understanding there are simple things that we can do within ourselves that cost us little money. But I want you to get the book. She connects with her audience in a way where I feel like I knew her before I met her. Her analogies are really good, but most importantly, she gives you really good tips that you can use to begin to take back you. Learn more about you. No one's more interested than you, but I don't want you to just know the outward you. I want you to be able to know that when life happens, when things are going on in your life, you know that you can glow.
Hi, my name is Ruby Butler. I am the program specialist for the GRASS program, which stands for Graduates Ready to Attain Success in Post-Secondary. This program is housed by the Governor's Office of Student Achievement and also by the Georgia Department of Education. And what it does is it provides a school counselor to high schools to work with at-risk students. Every month we have a training called the Summit. And as part of that training, we try to provide for our counselors who are working these high stress level jobs a self-care piece, because they not only have to just take care of their students, but they also need to take care of themselves. Well, Dr. McCarty from the G.L.O.W Bar joined us in one of our summits and provided a self-care piece that talked about your genes and things, what are within you. And she made that presentation so relatable, who would have thought, using the idea of the three little pigs and the story of the three little pigs to conceptualize the idea for our counselors of how are you building your home, the home you live in, your body, your vessel. And it gave us all an opportunity to really sit back and really think about it. How are we building our homes? What are we putting in it? What are we building that foundation on? what foods are we putting into our bodies? What are we drinking? And we really had an opportunity to reassess and reevaluate who we were individually. I had a lot of great feedback from my counselors who really said that this was probably one of the better self-care pieces, because this piece was a piece that every single counselor can pinpoint in the presentation where they were in building their homes. She was very attentive to a lot of the questions that counselors had specifically that dealt with nutrition, maybe some health issues that they're dealing with. And she just gave some very general tidbits on how they can incorporate certain things into their diet to support, those ailments. I think for me, what I really got out of it was really the notion that I needed to kind of remodel my building. So I'm currently going through a detox right now to internally remodel my home, so to speak, my vessel, so that I can tear down some walls and build them back up. So Dr. McCarty, thank you so much for all of your tidbits, all of your, expertise on nutrition, really helping my counselors and myself really think about, how we work with others and the support that we give and the health that we need to have in order to do that. So I do thank you very much for participating in our summit. Like I said, I'm still getting a lot of feedback from my counselors as to, the information that they were given. And a lot of them have really, have an idea of rethinking how they're taking care of themselves. So I thank you so much. And I look forward to working with the Well You Bar and Dr. McCarty once again. Thank you.
Hey, this is Dr. Ha, grass counselor at North Clayton High School. Wanted to do a brief review of our guest speaker for last month's summit, Dr. Nicole McCarty. It was filled with so much good information. She started off her presentation with a story of the three little pigs. So it started off very relatable to begin with. She talked about how each of the three little pigs use different materials to build their house. So that was the premise of her message. What materials are you using? And that the materials that you are using to build your house, which is your body, essentially matter. She talked about physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and how they are all interconnected. She talked about diet and how we put into our bodies, how what we put into our bodies make a difference, and how we feel. She talked about water and how we all need to hydrate more. She talked about the importance of maybe using a tracking app or using some of the different flavors to put into your water for those of us that are not water drinkers. But she just talked about the importance of hydration. She talked about making yourself a priority and figuring out what your why is, and how oftentimes we're on autopilot and we're just going through the motions. And if we stop to sit back and assess, why we're doing the things that we're doing, then we can better take some things off of our plate and then better prioritize the things that we actually do have to do. She talked about the importance of making time for yourself, quality time for yourself, quality time with your spouse, quality time with your children, of course, and then still doing what you have to do professionally. So overall, it was just a really good presentation. She used a lot of things that were really applicable to our everyday lives and things that we can use professionally and personally. So really good presentation. Thank you, Dr. McCarty. I have really thought about a lot of the things over the last, 30 days that you've said. I've really tried to, look what I did. I really tried to do the water thing. Not going to tell you guys how long that same water has been in there, but at least I'm trying, right? So the tips and tools were it was a very informative presentation. So thank you guys so much. Bye.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Danielle, and I'm the GRASP counselor at Clarkston High School. Well, today I was told to come on and just give a testimony about our summit that we have every month, and more particular about our self-care part of the summit. I am first to testify and actually say that I enjoy the summit and I enjoy the self-care part of the summit that they have incorporated. Unfortunately, due to coronavirus, I am one of the counselors who is still working at home, meaning from March, I have not left my house to really go back into the building. Well, as you could imagine, things have suffered. I haven't exercised. At one point, I probably was eating everything I didn't need to eat. And one of the things that we learn at the summit is that you gotta watch your diet, your exercise, just taking a moment to breathe. Now, one such summit that I like to talk about in particular is the one with Dr. McCarty, where she talked about, success in your genes and things, and basically what she spoke about was the foods that we eat. Oh gosh, I needed to hear that. And so she basically said when it comes to your diet, there's no healthy quote unquote foods. Is what foods work for your body, which was really important for me to hear, seeing that I was trying every diet out there, trying to get this weight off. She said you do have to be intentional about your health, and that is true. So one such thing that she did mention and she talked about was the different types of foods, us having our vitamin C and our vitamin D, and for me particularly, getting that iron in your food. I really enjoyed the session. And of course, I can't forget that she did mention, drink your bottle of water, which I have made it a point to be intentional about drinking water. I truly enjoy the summits that we have every month, and I love the fact that Ruby and her team, all of them, make it a point to incorporate that whole self-care part, because if we don't take care of ourselves, who will? Thank you.